India chairs the Security Council session on terror. Could Masood's Saleh alliance be an alternative? Former President Karzai meets the Pakistan envoy. Meanwhile, Ghani says he took no cash out of Afghanistan. People defy Taliban, raise the Afghan national flag. Women, girls march with the national flag. Several killed as Taliban fires at the crowds. Women being erased once again. Why Taliban 2.0 isn't reassuring to Afghan women or the world. Let's head back to Mamata Banerjee. Calcutta High Court orders CBI probe in post-poll violence. Trinamool to appeal in Supreme Court. Meanwhile, Karvy MD arrested on cheating charges. It is one of the biggest stockbroking agencies and charged of diverting clients' shares for loans. He is now arrested on indecent complaint of 137 crore fraud. Hello and welcome. You're watching NETV 24/7. I'm Sonal Mehrotra Kapoor. Let's begin with the latest at this hour. Now, Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar has detailed India's concerns about terror for the first time since the Taliban takeover of Afghanistan, naming specific groups in another first.
Events unfolding in Afghanistan have naturally enhanced global concerns about their implications for both regional and international security. The heightened activities of the proscribed Haqqani network justifies this growing anxiety. Whether it is in Afghanistan or against India, groups like Lashkar-e-Toiba and Jaish-e-Mohammed continue to operate with both impunity and encouragement. And when we see state hospitality being extended to those with innocents' bloods on their hand, we should never lack the courage to call out this doublespeak.
With the Taliban firmly ensconced in Afghanistan with Pakistan's backing, will India now look to revive and strengthen ties with the Northern Alliance? That's the original anti-Taliban force in Afghanistan. It was this force that swept into Kabul 20 years ago with US support. These are the two men who are leading the Northern Alliance fight back. Ahmed Masood, the 32-year-old son of the most iconic Afghan resistance leader of them all, Ahmed Shah Masood, and Amrullah Saleh, the first vice president of Afghanistan till a few days back. Both men remain defiant. They've retreated to their lair, the Panjshir Valley. Today, Saleh, who believes he is the legitimate president of Afghanistan after Ashraf Ghani fled, tweeted, "Nations must respect the rule of law, not violence. Afghanistan is too big for Pakistan to swallow, too big for the Talibs to govern. Don't let your histories have a chapter on humiliation and bowing to terror groups." But not all former Northern Alliance leaders think the same way. Former President Hamid Karzai, once thought to be among India's greatest friends, and Abdullah Abdullah, who leads the High Council for National Reconciliation, are actively in talks with the Taliban. Today, in fact, they met the Pakistani ambassador to discuss what they said was national and international legitimacy for the Taliban regime. While Amrullah Saleh's location is secret, he insists he is in Afghanistan and is believed to be in the Panjshir Valley. Now, that's the heart of the Northern Alliance movement, a movement India championed and supported in every way possible: military aid, medical aid, financial assistance. In these areas, New Delhi is an eternal friend. This is the Panjshir Valley. This is Bazarah, where Ahmed Shah Masood is buried. Further north is Khoja Bahauddin, what used to be the military headquarters of the alliance. Located on the border with Tajikistan, Khoja Bahauddin lies close to Farkhor, where India set up a military hospital that still functions. In fact, it was here that Ahmed Shah Masood was pronounced dead. Further north is Aini in Tajikistan, where India has a military base. But India's choices are tough. The foreign minister in New York didn't answer a direct question on whether India was in touch with the Taliban.
At this time, I think as I said, these are early days. Our focus right now is on ensuring the safety and security of Indian nationals who are there.
Dr. Jaishankar is now coming back to India fast to keep a track of Afghanistan. As India looks at its options, the immediate priority remains to get stranded Indian nationals and Afghan friends out of that country before looking at whether the Northern Alliance can be a true challenger to the Taliban. Vishnu Shom for NDTV.
Meanwhile, let's look at this tweet coming in from Global Times saying the Chinese finance minister has said that during a phone talk with the Pakistani counterpart that China and Pakistan should strengthen communication and coordinate on Afghan issues to support a stable power transition in the country and peace in the region. Taliban has made its way to UP politics. Well, a day after setting up the UP ATS in Deoband, the Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath took on the SP, that is a Samajwadi Party member of Parliament today, saying that we have sympathizers of Taliban in the opposition. He said this on the floor of the House. Now, will Taliban become a poll issue in the upcoming UP election? Well, it certainly looks like it.
अध्यक्ष जी तालिबान का समर्थन कर रहे हैं कुछ लोग, महिलाओं के साथ क्या क्रूरता बरती जा रही है, वहां पर बच्चों के साथ क्या क्रूरता बरती जा रही है अफगानिस्तान में, लेकिन कुछ लोग बेशर्मी के साथ तालिबान का समर्थन किए जा रहे हैं, तालिबानीकरण करना चाहते हैं। ये सभी के चेहरे एक्सपोज किए जाने चाहिए समाज के सामने।
Meanwhile, the other big story coming in from the Calcutta High Court, which has now ordered a CBI probe into the West Bengal post-violence case. And these are the words of Justice I.P. Mukherjee, saying if a crime is suspected to have been committed, it is the duty of the state to investigate into the apprehended offender and prosecute him. An ordinary citizen has the right against the state to expect that the alleged offender is brought to justice. Even as the NHRC report that was attacked by Mamata Banerjee as biased, the court said that it has thrown light to the police inaction and hence the matter is required to go through an independent investigation.
Twin probes into post-poll violence in Bengal. The most heinous crimes, murders, rapes and attempted rapes will be probed by the CBI, says Calcutta High Court. Other cases of arson, loot, ransack will go to a special investigation team of 3 senior Bengal police officers. Both CBI and the SIT will submit status reports in 6 weeks of 4th October. For the BJP, still smarting from the assembly poll defeat, the order is validation of its claims of Trinamool's post-poll violence against its workers.
I wished कि सत्य की जीत हो and सत्य की जीत हुई है, so it's सत्यमेव जयते.
CBI and SIT?
Yes, that was the requirement because see an SIT will cannot probe into offences like rape and heinous crimes which have taken place in West Bengal. So in order to probe into that, CBI was required.
हाई कोर्ट ने जो जजमेंट दिया है, सच में बंगाल के इतिहास में एक ऐतिहासिक जजमेंट माना जाए। कानून व्यवस्था चरमरा गया है, पूरा देश सन्न हो गया है इस प्रकार घटना सुन करके, लेकिन सरकार मानने के लिए तैयार नहीं।
Mamata Banerjee's government will most likely go to Supreme Court.
I am displeased with the High Court judgment. We are political people. We have won in the People's Court. BJP has gone to the High Court. So we will not be deterred by the High Court.
The Election Commission has got a clean chit. Mamata Banerjee had argued that post-poll violence, if any, took place under the EC's watch, not hers. The court did not agree with that. The NHRC got a slap on the wrist. Some judges stating on record it had exceeded its brief in the opinions it included in its fact-finding report. But NHRC's recommendations for a CBI and SIT probe were accepted. With GT Shankar, Monideepa Banerjee, NDTV.
And staying with news from West Bengal, one of the reasons Mamata Banerjee came to power in West Bengal in assembly elections were women. Half of Bengal's women had voted for her numerous cash transfer welfare schemes that she floated. Now, after coming back into power, she has now floated another one. The new scheme is making waves and women are even getting on to stampeding to fill up the forms for the benefits, which are 1,000 rupees per month for women of the scheduled caste and tribes and 500 for the rest.
লক্ষ্মীর ভান্ডার মা বোনেদের একটা উৎসাহ তো থাকবেই, এটা মা বোনেদের অধিকার, মা বোনেদের নিজস্বতা, মা বোনেদের সম্মান এবং সেই জন্যই লক্ষ্মীর ভান্ডার সবচেয়ে বেশি পড়ছে, 30 লক্ষ হয়েছে এখনো পর্যন্ত 3 দিনে।
A new stampede to sign up for the Lokhi Bhandar scheme. Mamata Banerjee having to promise that the cut-off to enroll 15th September will be extended. In 3 days since Monday, when form distribution began at 900 plus camps statewide, 30 lakh women have applied to get direct bank transfer benefit from 1st September of 500 rupees each month, 1000 if scheduled caste or tribe.
স্বামীর আয় কেমন পরে ট্যাক্সি গাড়ি চালায় কত 10-12 হাজার টাকা তাও হবে কিনা সঙ্গে আমাদের গরিবানা মতে 500 টাকাও আমাদের কাছে এখন অনেক। আমরা যে অবস্থায় আছি 500 টাকাও আমাদের কাছে এখন অনেক।
আমাদের ইনকাম কোনো কিছু নেই, মাঠে ঘাটে কাজ ছাড়া কোনো কিছু দিকে আমাদের ইনকাম নেই। তার জন্য 500 টাকা যদি পাওয়া যায় অনেকটা আমার খুব সুবিধা হয়।
Eligibility criteria: between 25 and 60 years of age, no pension, no job. 25 state schemes are on offer at these Duare Sarkar or government at your doorstep camps. But the big rush is for Lokhi Bhandar.
70 to 80% of the people that are coming are only for Lokhi Bhandar. We have had 8,000 footfall in our this 3-day camp, and we have had close to 7,000 forms only for Lokhi Bhandar.
Of around 3.6 crore women voters in Bengal, nearly half voted for Trinamool in the last polls. Lokhi Bhandar was Trinamul's manifesto promise. The BJP is trying to punch it full of holes.
एज का काट ऑफ, कॉन्ट्रैक्चुअल, कैजुअल, मेजोरिटी वोमेन इस स्कीम का बाहर जा रहा है, सबको माइनस कर रहा है। हम लोग का डिमांड है सबको देना चाहिए।
How much will Lokhi Bhandar cost Bengal? The budget of the nodal Women, Child and Social Welfare Department was tripled this year to fit the bill, which could be all of 10,000 crore rupees. Mamata Banerjee's targeted schemes for women certainly have paid off in the past, and Lokhi Bhandar promises to do the same in future. With Judy Shankar, Monadeepa Banerjee, NDTV.
Karvy Stockbroking, one of India's biggest stockbroking agencies, their managing director today was arrested for cheating and misuse of clients' funds. Now, the founder of the financial services company was taken into custody following a complaint by IndusInd Bank alleging that his firm had defaulted on 137 crore loan. In fact, the HDFC Bank has also filed 2 cases alleging fraud of nearly 350 crore.
C. Parthasarathi, Chairman and Managing Director of Hyderabad-based Karvy Stockbroking, arrested by the Hyderabad Police on Thursday on a complaint by IndusInd Bank of cheating to the tune of 137 crore rupees.
बेसिक कंप्लेंट ये था कि कार्वी स्टॉक ब्रोकिंग लिमिटेड ने कस्टमर्स के शेयर्स को अपना शेयर्स बता के बैंक को कोलैटरल के जैसा प्लेज करके उसके अगेंस्ट 130 odd crores का लोन लिया था। इस पे HDFC बैंक 2 FIRs दिए हैं।
HDFC Bank has also filed 2 cases alleging fraud of nearly 350 crore rupees. Karvy Stockbrokers was barred by SEBI in 2020 from trading on the NSE and BSE after a probe found gross violations, including fraudulently pledging client shares to raise loans, transfer the funds to subsidiary companies and default. Karvy has been one of the oldest and high-profile stockbroking firms in this part of the country. Investigators say they had an estimated 2 lakh clients. With SEBI's intervention, some of those clients have got back their money. Demat accounts were also transferred to other firms, but several other clients could still be awaiting the return of their investment. In Hyderabad, with camera person Nagraju, Uma Sudhir, NDTV.
To Jammu and Kashmir now, where the police there has announced the arrest of 4 separatist leaders, including some constituents of the Hurriyat Conference, for selling MBBS seats in Pakistan to Kashmiri students and using the money to support and fund terrorism.
A police crackdown on separatists accused of selling MBBS seats in Pakistan to Kashmiri students. 4 separatists have been arrested during multiple raids by the intelligence wing of the Jammu and Kashmir police. The money was allegedly used to fund and support militancy in the valley.
जो लोग जहां से हुर्रियत के चैनल से सीट्स प्रक्योर करके पाकिस्तान में पढ़ने के लिए खासतौर पे MBBS की जो सीट्स के लिए गए, उसके दौरान जो पैसे की कलेक्शन हुई और हुर्रियत के जरिए से हुर्रियत के चैनल से जो टेररिज्म को फंड करने के लिए इस्तेमाल हुआ, 80 के करीब ऐसे केसेस हैं MBBS के जो अभी तक तफ्तीश में हैं।
One of the arrested separatists is Zafar Akbar Bhatt, a former Hizbul Mujahideen commander who was part of peace talks with the NDA government in 2000. The police are investigating 80 cases at the moment where students in Kashmir would be sold MBBS seats in Pakistan. Police say separatists were taking 10 to 12 lakh rupees from parents. Investigations began after some of the students who had gone to Pakistan on student visas returned back as terrorists. These cases have hit genuine students after the government refused to clear travel of at least 100 students.
एक बार फिर देश के गृह मंत्री अमित शाह हम केंद्र शासित प्रदेश के राज्यपाल मनोज सिन्हा से ह्यूमैनिटेरियन ग्राउंड्स पर रिक्वेस्ट करते हैं कि जो 100 के आसपास जो स्टूडेंट्स कश्मीर में फंसे, जिनका प्रेशियस एकेडमिक इस वक्त जो स्टेक पे है, हालांकि ऐसे भी बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स हैं जिनकी एग्जाम्स मिस हो गए.
Police say it was a well-organized syndicate in the separate scam that was selling MBBS seats in Pakistan to Kashmiri students for last several years. While 4 people have been arrested, investigations are underway and more arrests are expected in coming days. In Srinagar, Nazir Masoodi, Finally TV.